Hello again. My greetings to you, good fellows out there. I think I had to continue, as I said, I need to continue. I have to keep up with expressing my views as a fellow human being. I'm expressing my views regarding the bombardment or whatever it is that the everyday efforts to convince man to accept as normal. You know, my opportunity is such as this to share with. There are people like me out there that I care, even if it's a sign of showing my courtesy and my care towards other people that I feel deserve to sort of be enlightened and be aware of anything that could trap them and put them in a very insecure state. But it always will make them feel as if they're actually in a secure state. And I need to bring people's awareness to that. That's what this video is about. And it is mainly has been on culture and religion as the main source and the reason why these issues takes place. I use both the Quran and the Bible. Normally, the Bible is known as the Holy Bible. It's referred to the Holy Bible. The Revised Standard Version of the Holy Bible is a New King James Version. It's many times it's been revised. You've got a Quran, which is also another revised version, but I believe the Bible was there before the Quran came. The Islamic believe the Quran to be the last revelation of the Abrahamic descendants, whilst the Bible does not fully or somehow accept the Quran to be the last. They rather accept the New Testament in the Bible as the last of all the Abrahamic prophetic inspirations. But over years has passed, I believe somehow with the continuous persistence of the Islamic people, they are beginning somehow. There are others who are beginning to blend and recognize the faith, the Islamic faith. That's the individuals within the Christian sect group and a few outside of these groups sort of want to see it as, since it has progressed and triumphantly moved on. And it's not by chance. It has gone through all sort of violence and all sort of demonstrations and things that are beyond beyond the sort of expectation of what people expected from such a faith or a peaceful faith. They have to fight wars. The same thing with the Christian Bible. So they also, all that generation, they also have these historical background too. So it's not just about the Quran or the Islamic people alone. It's always been that with religion and culture. It's been that kind of people struggling each other, trying to establish the norms of their life, what they believe to be true or what they accept to be true. And that's the situation here. So you can imagine some of the cruel and wicked things that out of religion and culture people have done. Sometimes I come across it, and even in thanks to the YouTube currently in progress and propaganda and all over, people are aware now that the sort of they are aware now that some things happen where easily it has to be put on air, so you can come across the act of people, and they do it fine. People do it for last reasons. Some people do it for making their message or share their message out there. When somebody is in control of something and he feels what he's doing is right, he normally put it in the media to win support of others or demonstrate a sign of fear to the people, to sort of silence people. People use that just as capital punishment is meant to sort of silence people and keep the people in a good mood, or as believed to be a good mood, or a way which they will live to listen and obey authority. So in that process, you can find these things, some of the monstrous acts of men. in the name of God, or in the name of authority, or in the name of whatever moral standard that people may be engaging themselves to. And those advices you can also have from these books, the Quran and the Bible. You can reveal these books. You can see statements that it's accepted that God made those statements, and God asked people to do that. And so if God has asked them once to do it, he still asks them to do, because it's the same God yesterday, the same God today. Now what I'm telling people is that it is not the same God yesterday and the same God today issue. There's much more to it than that. If you claim to have the faith of a Christian, or you are among the Christendom family, the Bible is your terms and conditions. Do you follow it through? Have you got all the details? If you follow it through, how do you follow it through? You read the storyline. You see the descendant by which you have chose to be a part of, the family where you choose to belong to. The description and the definition that is given to the head and the family of this book, the inventor of the what is known to be accepted or to be embraced and claimed to be the author of the book. That is God, Jehovah Jireh. So many names has been given. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Elohim. All kinds of names comes up. Jehovah Rapha, all sort of name comes up. But the thing is, Jehovah here is his rules and his normal, the things that are normal to him in the tradition, or in the descended tradition. If he has to be descended, that's how it is. But today, as the practice is in, so people use the New Testament to justify their way of life, of drifting away from the tradition, or what is meant for them to live life and never be too bothered or worried about their way of life. You see them talking something different from what the book says, and you can always find other quotations, because there are so many instances. It's talking about thousands and 2,000s of years of history. So you can imagine that there are so many things you can grab on this book to support your statement, or your moral standard, or your campaigning in whatever you decide to do. You can always have something here that will back it up. So we point things up. Even I can find something. I'll be quoting some school statements there, which helps to define whatever I want to say, or supports what I might say to my view. But I say that the Jehovah of this book now is not the Jehovah at that time, because of the actions that have been seen today. People's acts, people's presentation of their practical presentation of what they believe to be a way of life that God might respect and regard and accept. The way of life of was there now, or what they believe to be, over time has gradually shifted. Even in this book, it reveals the confusion, because it started long ago, according to the story, when the followers begin to drift away without knowing. Something was drifting people away from the actual way that they are meant to sort of follow through, or the true nature of the living God that they worship. Things that he recognizes, things that he does not recognize, the true things that he values. He values his followers, or his worshippers, or his groups, his children to follow through. They were drifting away to something else. And so every day we have drifted away. It even says that from the very beginning of Genesis, when the first people created by the same God drifted away from his directions. And it has gone on and on and on and on. From Abraham's ways, it has been drifted to something else today. But we still say that we are the followers of the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac. They are obedient and responding that Abraham or these prophets were to their God Jehovah is never the same today. They believe that it is God who has manifested himself in a different way for us. But I think that is not the case. If we claim he is a God yesterday, he is a God today, okay, but how come then that the same God now makes you do things that at that time he had no problem with? Is there issue? Is it because of we can always relate it clearly to see that